American music legend Chris Brown, because that's what he is now. He is a legend. Recently performed two sold-out shows in Johannesburg, South Africa, as part of his 11-11 tour, drawing huge crowds and making history in the process. The contents were controversial, however, with some human rights activists calling for Brown to be banned from the country due to his past history of domestic violence. But despite the controversy, Brown's performances were well received by his fans, who praised his electrifying stage presence and emotional connection with the audience. Chris Brown has been making headlines recently for his successful shows in South Africa. Despite facing controversy and calls for a ban, Brown sold out two massive shows at FNB Stadium in Johannesburg with over 90,000 attendees. It was a packed stadium, you hear. The performances were described as ethereal, mesmerizing, with Brown showcasing his renowned singing and dancing skills. Yeah, you have to be doing some great things if you don't get any negativity on Twitter. Of course, there is negativity, but you know. Some Kenyan influencers even used the opportunity to make a political statement, chanting "Ruto must go" during the show in solidarity with protesters in Kenya. Yeah, they're just using the opportunity, right? Overall speaking, it seems that Chris Brown's talent and charisma continue to captivate audiences around the world. It seems like Chris Brown's shows in South Africa had a distinctly local flavor, incorporating elements of Mzansi culture and music. Brown also collaborated with Nigerian artist Davido during his performance at FNB Stadium, bringing together African and American musical traditions in a high-energy and crowd-pleasing performance. Just look at those lights. It's great to see artists like Chris Brown engaging and celebrating local cultures and traditions when they perform overseas, rather than simply exporting their own brand of entertainment and quote phoning it in. Yeah, some celebs have a reputation of phoning it in when it comes to Africa, since it's already a poor continent. I'll put that in quotation marks, quote unquote. While many celebrities and performers genuinely appreciate and respect African cultures and audiences, there are also cases where artists and companies treat Africa as an afterthought or a source of easy profits. This can take a form of a lazy, superficial attempt to engage with local traditions, or of exploiting African resources and labor without giving back to the communities. Of course, Africa is a vast and diverse continent with many thriving economies and vibrant cultures, as you saw in Black Panther, so it's unfair to paint all the performers and companies with the same brush. But it's important to be aware that these issues to support artists and businesses that genuinely value respect African audiences and communities. Chris Brown's DJ even played Weekend Special by Brenda Fassie. Wow, that was very nostalgic for me. Yes, it sounds like Chris Brown's DJ made a point of connecting with the local audiences. He sure did his homework, playing some beloved South African classics. In addition, Brenda Fassie's Weekend Special, of course, they also played Ricky Rick's Both Zonke, Magarimba's Sister Bettina, which was always a crowd favorite, which are all iconic songs in South African music history. And of course, Chris Brown himself got into the spirit by throwing some of his clothes into the crowd, while he was actually like flying all over the stadium, like Michael Jackson. Yeah, which sure sparked a lot of excitement and commotion amongst his fans. It's also great to see performers making an effort to engage with their local cultures and traditions when they found performing overseas, and it sounds like Chris Brown's team did a great job. Some Africans and some people are already calling it his most successful performance or live performance of his career. I'm not sure about that. Chris Brown's shows in Johannesburg were certainly a major milestone in his career, with over 90,000 attendees packing out the iconic FNB Stadium. However, it looks like his most successful show in terms of revenue was actually a performance at United Center in Chicago, where he earned $3.17 million for a single show on his 11-11 tour. Yeah, he's still making that paper. Look at him now. Of course, success can be measured in many different ways, and it's clear that Chris Brown's performance in Johannesburg were a huge success in terms of audience size, cultural significance, and enthusiasm of his fans. Yes, in terms of audience size, Chris Brown's performance in Johannesburg were some of his biggest ever. According to multiple sources, over 90,000 people attended each of his two sold-out shows at the FNB Stadium, which is one of the largest venues in the world. In fact, it wasn't just South Africans in attendance. People from all over Africa and beyond flew in to see Brown perform live on African soil, making it a truly global event. So while Chicago may have been more lucrative in terms of revenue, it's clear that Johannesburg shows were a huge success in terms of audience size and cultural impact. Wonderfully done, Breezy. I'm sure going to be listening to his music all week or even all month.